Morning, Pioneers. This is MJKK 613.14. Coming at you one more time on Unofficial Pi through my eyes. This is part 4 in what I'm doing right now. I may not, it's maybe been a couple of videos. Welcome to all new subscribers. I've done this in a continuous run. Thanks for watching the videos. Hope you're getting something out of it. Hope you're maybe getting a little deeper understanding, a little deeper what has transpired, where we're at, and I'm getting to where we are today, and how I'm forming my opinions. And I don't know if I'm doing a good job of it or not, but getting a little better understanding of the space, what's going on, what's happening around us, and why people think the way they think. Where I left off was, I think I was talking back to you. I was talking. That's why I was doing back to back, so I could get my train of thought. Pi growing faster than electroleum, but Core choosing to develop Pi in the open, but a private project. Okay, so right there, and this is how I've come to understand it over time, and I've been preaching the same shit for 2.5 years. Yeah. Because being a private project hosted by Core that we have been invited to is what it is. But Core had motive for inviting us to an open project. But ever since I've been here, well, I don't want to say ever since I've been here, but we reached a certain, when ENF, and this is why I keep going back to the ENF transfer, because that's where things kind of really went south for us. They did more work on Core, and that's what's leading up to where I'm at today. We created more work for Core, because once I started to understand, and once I let go and knew I wasn't driving the big bus, and they weren't going to let me drive the big bus, and I had no say in where the big bus went and how it was getting there, once I let that go, that opened my eyes quite a bit. And when the in-app transfer didn't go how the community expected it to go, that's when a lot of people woke up. The ones that been here supporting, kind of on the same page. I mean, I'm on the same page they are. It isn't that they came onto my page. They woke me. I mean, I woke up. They finished waking me up, and I'm on their page. Yeah, and there are a lot of people that know who they are. I mean, the ones doing it know who they are, and there's a lot of pioneers that know who those pioneers are. Okay, so what I'm saying, what I'm preaching, what I'm putting out, what I do, it's from the white paper. I mean, it was in the original white paper with the original roadmap. Yeah. Learning from experience, being a part of what is going on, being a part of both the ups and downs, seeing what people are doing and what they've done to the project. The attitude of people in the project that are holding it. People held Pi back. It was people that held Pi back. It was people that extended, now this is all my opinion on how I view it. It is people that missed what I think Core original launch date was. Phase 3 launch date was. Okay. It's people, community, that believe they know, think they know. The same people that make all these other cryptos do what they're doing, because they all follow a certain model, and within that model, it's easy to manipulate and get them to do what they do. And I was talking to somebody maybe a week or so, a couple of weeks back, and we got talking. We got talking about the space. And he'd been in space for a long time, and I guess how we came about because we were talking the same thing. We didn't know each other. No, I mean, we know each other now a little better, but he's been in space. I mean, I've been in space a couple of years, but we're talking the same thing. I think that's how we connected, because we don't, and we're talking. I'm in some things close to word for word. So I get me and him don't know. I mean, we don't know what. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, it's people that caused all of it. Where we're at today. Yeah, the community did the job. We did a hell of a job, man. We just didn't do the job we were supposed to. Yeah. Okay. And that's where, right. Core. And there's been debate over who's the initial, who started, who did this. Okay. It's all. What's the word for it? When you go, you got a solid product, you got something solid, you're building it, you're doing it, you whatever, and somebody doesn't like what you're doing because they can see that you're moving in a better direction, right direction, whatever, and they get in and they sabotage, and they misdirect, throw kinks in, roadblocks, do whatever it is to keep you from reaching your goal. That's what a lot of these people are, I believe. That I'm coming to believe. Maybe they're working for the government and, we can go off into conspiracy theories and all this other bullshit. But for some reason, they're creating the roadblocks. They're creating the chaos. They're creating shit that didn't need to be created. Didn't need to have to happen. But it's been happening from the beginning. It has. I mean, when I first got here, the community seemed tighter than what we are today. But when I got here is when some issues came up that I don't think Core was expecting. I think now I don't think it was oversight. It could have been oversight, but it was right. One of the first big ones that popped up was phone verification. Phone verification. That was one of the first issues that I was involved in, major issues that I was in. And it's still going on. And people still aren't listening. And people, okay, it was bad when it first came up. But when it first popped up, Core didn't even know what was going on. They knew there was an issue because people couldn't get their SIM verification. It wasn't allowed, Yes, and I think there was like maybe three or four. Man, it's been a long night. I've talked a lot. I've written a lot. 3 or 4 access numbers to send in a verification to and get a SIMS number to verify to get verified. Well, when it first came up, it was kind of creeping up slowly or whatever. But then all of a sudden, it got to a rag. A bunch of people couldn't. Well, all of a sudden, people that couldn't phone verify because of the white paper and the way it says has to be phone verified or you're going to lose all your Pi. When they couldn't verify, got pissed, got upset, okay. That was the first clue that I saw that people don't know where we're at, what we're doing. I saw it back then. I understood where we were at. Maybe not as deep as I do today, but I understood what the project was, where the project was, what was going on. Okay? And when they got upset, they took it out on Core, and they laid it out on Core, and they laid it out on Pi. Okay? Well, the people, Core did the research, Core found out what the problem was. Core found out what the problem was. And it's not Pi. And it wasn't Core. No. That was one of the first ones I got. And it hasn't stopped. It doesn't. At least it's not being directed at Pi and Core as much as it did back then. People were getting hostile. Because they couldn't verify their phone number and they were going to lose their Pi. And they took it out on Pi and they took it out on Core. You know what the problem was? Still is, to this day, is the phone providers in certain countries charge exorbitant fees for these people in these countries to send and receive international SMS. Yeah. It's on them. It's on them. It's not on Pi, it's not on Core. It's not, I mean, yes, it was a core issue, core problem, because Core is trying to be the most inclusive. Okay? Once, and it didn't take Core long to find out what the problem was. And started posting what the problem was. Started informing people what the problem was. Then they got even more pissed because they didn't feel they shouldn't have to pay the international rates that their phone providers were charging to be able to connect to Pi and verify with Pi. Yeah. Why? I mean, my first question, why? Why are you getting upset with Pi? Get the hell out. Just leave. If you can't verify, get out before you get invested into it. Don't earn Pi so you don't lose Pi. Get the fuck out. No, you know, okay? And get angry at Core for not being able to verify. Yeah, it's not as bad as what it used to be. It was bad. It was bad. And there's like, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 countries in Pi that are represented in Pi that had the issue. It wasn't just one location. It's probably any developing nation, country. Probably. It could be, no, because I know some people from France and all that. They were able to verify. But it's the other places that couldn't verify. Why? I understand some of them may not have had the fees, the whatever they were charging, to send and receive SIMs. Okay. Well, Core. Now that one, I'm not blaming on us creating it because it was something that who would think that you can't send in this day and age that you can't send text messages anywhere in the world. I was helping to investigate, talking to people. And when go back, if you can get back into the Pi history, CFAN, in the public, I paid a community announcement. It's not on Pi. It's not on them. Here's the issue. You have to pay to send and receive SMS. And at that time, like I said, we were like 3 or 4, I think it was like 4 international numbers that you could use to connect to. And I know Core worked hard at getting numbers added to that list that some of these countries could verify through that didn't create international. But some of them still had issue because of their phone providers. It still is. Okay? Well, that's when Facebook was added. To give pioneers that had issue and easy access to verify in Pi. And now here's one issue where I lay on Core. Because Core almost killed the mods at that point. Because nobody would fucking add that to the white paper. Yeah. I respect for their accomplishments or whatever. But they wouldn't add a line to that white paper. And there was 4 of them that I counted out that was circulating different. Oh yeah. I have my own copy of the white paper. It wasn't an original, but it was early on. Because I didn't think about screenshotting and taking all this and having information to, because I'm not looking at her Pi. And this is probably one of the first times I've ever mentioned that I believe it was 4. There was 3 that I know of. I only have a copy of 1, but there was at least 3 that floated in and out at different times. And they wouldn't add Phone, you needed to verify by phone or Facebook. That's all they would need to add. Or by Facebook. And it would have, okay, when Facebook was added, it got even more nuts than it was when people couldn't verify. Yeah. Yeah. Because the white paper that is the gospel was, it had, that line has never gotten added. Hopefully they added it to the new one, the revised one, whatever they got going on. Hopefully. Because people come in, they come in through Facebook, verify, and spend hours of money or whatever it is to try to verify their phone. And I don't know why, whether it's something in Pi or something in Facebook. If you verify with Facebook first, it won't let you verify by phone, but you are verified. People don't hear that. They don't hear what I just said. Okay? People don't hear because it's not in the white paper. They're going by the white paper, which I can't blame them. But okay, and I understand the pioneer's point. Yes, we're only mods, and the white paper says this, and we're telling you something different. And believe the white paper. Believe the white paper. And I know that for the mods, that was an uphill battle. And it's still an uphill battle. Because it wouldn't add one line to the white paper. It would have solved a whole lot of stuff. Yeah. It isn't that I don't I know we were in development. I know we were growing faster, and I know they have a full plate. They've always had a full plate. They've always had it. And they were short, they were a small team, whatever. I understood both sides. But mods were caught in the middle. And it's, yeah, we appreciate what you're doing, All it would have taken was 5 minutes to add a line to the white paper. Yeah. So, that also helps form, from my opinion, on what Core has always played things close to the vest. Yes, in the early days when things were slower and stuff, Vince was still on board. He would come into Pioneer English. Nicholas would come go into Dev. Dev English. And C-Fan would show up every now and then. But those two, you could almost set your clock on those two coming into chat. And we got bits and pieces of information, official information from the official people, whatever it was. So, information kind of flowed a little better. But Core's always played close to the vest. And we'll probably still play close to the vest until we get on the other side. And I've come to kind of understand why, and I don't blame them. Yeah, they don't need to tell us anything. It's their party, it's their project, and it's private, not public. It's not ours, and that's where a big part of the issue with communication comes down. I came in the same way. I wanted to be a part of, and I wanted to drive the big bus. And I would get pissed when I couldn't get. Okay? But that was my own ego, my own pride, my own stuff, until I came to a point where, and this goes for everybody inside the community. Everybody inside the community. Okay? And those that are higher up on the ladder, intelligence-wise, schooling-wise, experience-wise, whatever. But it goes for you too. And I mean this for everybody in the community. What gives you the right to think you're smarter than PhDs? You have a PhD? If you did, you'd probably be communicating a little different. I know you got your experience. Have you been college educated with the sheepskin that has PhD on it? If you don't, you need to get out of the way and shut up. That's what it is. Because it's ego, pride, everything, because you want to be head of. You want to be driving the big bus. You want to have say in what happens out here. Well, the problem with that is you're saying the wrong things. And if you're saying the wrong things, there's no way you're going to get to Core. Core's not going to let you in. because they would have to be doing battle with you every day because you want to do something different than what they have designed and planned. Yeah. Once I let go and realize, man, I'm just a passenger on the bus. I'm just a passenger on the bus. That's and when some of us started to wake up and see what was going on, that's when I realized what our job was. We had a job to do. We blew it. We blew the hell out of it, man. And this is where I know people start turning me off and no, we're not. I mean, I did anyway. I've done enough battle over time, and I can go deeper, proving that we were supposed to. We had a job to do, and I pointed out markers that showed what we were supposed to be doing. And the ones that are in the unofficial, that were part of the in-app transfer pilot, and have started these unofficial economies, are doing the job that we should have done as a community. Yeah. And I know I will never get any support from anybody saying that that's how it should have went. But if you take it down and you put it back up and connect the dots, you'll see it. You'll see it. You'll see the design. You'll see why we were invited. Yeah. We didn't live up to it. We actually blew it. We blew a lot of areas that should have been blown, that have put more work on. I know I'm out on my own on this. I'm out on the limb. If you want to cut it out, cut it out. I don't give a fuck. Because I know what I know. And I believe what I believe. And I see what I see. And most don't. Most don't. Even those that see back. They see it, but I don't. Well, this is probably where I get stuck in the in-app transfer, and they see and have moved, keep moving forward, stepping forward farther, and pushing this farther in the back. I'm not letting it go farther in the back because the community needs to know. I'm not letting it go, and obviously I'm putting it out tonight. I may not put it out anymore as far as it goes after I get done with this, but I'm gonna put it out. Whether believe it or not, I don't care. I lived it. I've lived it. And no, I've not lived with blinders on. I've not lived in, yeah. No, I'm in touch with reality. I'm in touch with where I'm at. I'm in touch with, okay. Yes, I may be a little more overzealous and I may be a little more, okay. I know where I'm at. I know what's going on. And it is what it is. And anyway, so we get to this point. After the phone, yeah, okay. I think the next one was the next big one that has forced Pi forward and something was security circles. Yeah. Security circles and invites were the invites and fake accounts and bots and all that. Bots is big one and all that. Okay. Security circles was the biggest one. The biggest next one that created more. Because people can't read. People can't read, don't listen, won't listen. And I think that's where I also started turning hard on the community. Yeah. Yeah. Because mods, because we're mods in Pi and don't have presence in crypto like other people do. Influencers and whatever, developers and da. And there are developers, there are smart people in Pi. There are smart mods in Pi from the beginning. But because we didn't travel in the realms that these other people did, Reddit and coins and whatever did, they didn't have that presence in the crypto and the respect. And I think what it comes down to is respect. It's lack of respect from outside the space. Because people from outside the space they've been through many of startups. They've been through many of the initial coin offerings, the initial pump and dump at the beginning, and the initial, all the stuff that they've been preaching for 3 years, telling people, trying to get people to believe for 3 years, getting in the way. They have gotten in the way of Pi. And some of them are doing it. Some of them are doing it because that's who they are within the organization. Some of them are doing it because they're sharks. They're sharks and vultures, and they've been doing it since day one. They've been trying to hold Pi price to below $1, to below 10 cents, to below. If they could get it down to a penny, they would get it down to a penny. If they could get you to believe it, so you would sell yours at a penny, they would in a heartbeat. There's a bunch of them, and they're still waiting. They've been waiting since back then, and they're in the shadows. They're in the shadows, but they're pulling some strings to keep this shit down. That's why I say you want to get into conspiracy theories. We can do that too in here, because they're here. Believe it, I don't care whether you believe it or not. I know, because I know some of them. I know some, and I know what they're up to, and they're doing, and they've been doing it, and they're still doing it, and they will do it until they can't. When I came in, I was on board with it. I was on board with what I was hearing and what I was learning, what I was discovering, until I really started learning Pi, and what Pi is, and what its goal, and why it's not going to do what you keep saying it's going to do. Yeah, it didn't take long to see. Pi's not going to do what all these people, experts from the space, are saying it's going to do. And the experts from the space aren't saying anything about Pi. The pros are not saying anything about Pi. It's the wannabes that are bad-mouthing Pi. Go on any crypto rag, go on any crypto site that talks about investing and new projects coming up, and Pi has not been in any of their gun sites. There was one early one off of bit whatever. They broke down Pi. I mean, their editor, their journalist, or whoever it was that breaks down new projects and evaluates new projects. There's been a few of those early on, and them going through and unpacking Pi or looking at Pi and whatever it was, and their piece, Pi's shit. Pi's always been shit in their eyes. Pi has nothing to offer. Pi is not live. Pi is not trading on any exchange. There is nothing in Pi for any investor. There is nothing. And Pi has flown under that radar for 3 years. And all of those came out early on. Yeah. There is a lot of amateur content out. Wannabe content out. That's why I jumped on board. They can put the crap out they're putting out. I know what I'm putting out, even if it's off the market, is a lot better crap than what they're putting out. Because they're dishing shit, man. They're dishing the space and making it apply to Pi. And when they have followers, people believe it. People believe it. And so I get further because that goes. Okay. So security circles, yeah. I mean, there are people, I don't know anymore, but there are people that have 100 people in their security circle. 50 people in their security circle thinking they were going to get a better increase in their mining rate, earning. When it states, if you read, 3 to 5 people we personally know and trust. And the way trust was explained to me is that I trust them enough to watch my kids for the weekend or house sit for me or let them drive my car. I would loan them my car for the week and know I trust them. That's who's supposed to be in the security. 3 to 5. 5 is max. That hasn't changed since day one. That hasn't. Okay. There are people with, I heard, this has been a long time ago, people with 80 and 100 people in their security circle. Well, people were putting their phone numbers out in that area. You would get a whole page, but nothing but phone numbers for new pioneers trying to build security circles. And trying to tell these people, man, you put your number out. You put any personal information out. Because people are posting Pi balances, posting their phone numbers, your username is there. Trying to warn people. There are some bad people in Pi. I don't know whether they're still here or the amount are still here. There are some bad people in Pi with bad intentions. Putting your phone number out in your Pi balance, you just went on somebody's watch list. Now I'm talking about bad people, bad hackers. People that are coming after your shit. They're coming after anybody's shit that they can get, if they can get enough information to get it. Yeah. People don't listen, man. People don't believe it. No. Because I don't know why Pi is held to any, at this point in development, why Pi is held to both low and high standard. I don't know. I don't understand that. I don't understand. That's people. What I do understand is people are selfish, greedy, and don't give a shit about anybody else but themselves. That I have come to understand. Whether it's showing or not is a driving factor. It's in there. It's close to the surface on most of them. Most of the ones putting out bullshit and getting in Pi's way. Because they're not thinking about Pi. They're not thinking about what Pi means. They're not thinking about each other. They're thinking about how they can maximize their profit, steal yours, and walk away clean. Because they have no conscience. They have no conscience. They have no conscience. They will take your Pi in a heartbeat. And what they will do is they'll convince you to give you their Pi. And they'll take it in a heartbeat. Yeah. That's it. Until we're live, and Mainnet, and I don't know. That's one of the other because Pi is our network. Security circles are there for a reason. Nobody believes in the security circle. Nobody believes in the security circle. They don't know what it is. They don't know why it is. They know what do you mean? I gotta invite you? I can't invite people. All my friends won't. They don't believe it. They won't do it. I can't invite nobody. Okay. But you're not reading nothing. Okay. And I also learned this since I was here, since I've been here, because I did exactly the same thing in the beginning. Yeah. I saw a couple of numbers. I talked to a couple of people, and I took numbers off the board. And I built my security circle because I wanted my bonus. I wanted my bonus, 5-person security. So I wanted that bonus to keep my mining rate high. That's the whole deal. Okay? Was it right? No. But could I possibly lose by? Yes. It was a risk I was willing to take because of what I understood to take. But it didn't take me long to replace those numbers, those people. I don't even know whether. A couple of the people that I got to know spent a few hours. Spent some hours in chat, talking and connecting back and forth. We exchanged numbers. Numbers I pulled off the board came out of my security circle and put him in. Yeah. That's how I built my security circle. And I replaced friends, personal friends that I know and trust, and would loan my card. That I've loaned money to. I'd loan my card to them. They've had me house sit for them. Okay, that kind of friendship, that kind of trust. I pulled them out of my security circle because they stopped mine. Yeah, they just went for whatever reason. Even though I talked to them and they explained to them. Got bored, got whatever, got busy, got whatever. Because what happens is, people come in. They come in with expectation. Then when they got to hit the button, hard thing to do, every day, there comes a point in every pioneer's history. There will come a point, usually early on, usually within that first 4 to 6 weeks, 8 weeks, it hits. What the fuck am I doing? Why am I doing this? What am I gaining off of just pushing this button every day? What's the whole thing? And you miss one session. That when you miss that first session, you probably won't come back. Because you miss the first one, it's easy to miss the second. You miss the second or third, it's off your mind. It's off your mind. Yeah. And I know people that I had that have done that. Well, That's on them. That's on them. But they were part of my security circle. And if they're not active, my security, the strength of my security through the network drops off. Yeah. But see, if you read it, if you read what is written, 3 to 5 people that we personally know. I mean, this is reading. This might be reading between the lines. That 3 to 5 people we know it. I mean, I think it's written we know and trust. Okay, 3 to 5 people that we personally know and trust at a level of trust is who's supposed to be in our security circle. There's a lot of advantages to getting to know pioneers that are in with Pi, that through time can trust each other. We do trust each other. Okay? That we're not going to do that because we're about Pi. Yeah. My security circle hasn't dropped below 100% since I've gotten it straightened out. Yeah, and I carry a few more. I carry, I think, 7. I think 7. I usually carry about 7 in my security circle, just in case there's an overlap, and I keep my security high. And I'm probably leaning, no, it's probably about 50-50 split between pioneers and personal. And the ones that are my personal, they miss maybe once in a while. But I've talked to them enough, they know Pi, they know what's going to happen to Pi, that they're regular enough that I'll keep them in my security circle. Yeah, if somebody misses 3 sessions, I take them out. I have others to replace them with since the time I've been here. Both personal friends and pioneers. I have a list that I can go to keep my security circle full. At 3 to 5 people. Okay? Because you start getting over 5 people. And yeah, I know I'm running the risk because I run a few more, but I can vouch for the few more that are in there. I trust that are in there. I'm not worried about the few extra I carry. It's manageable enough for me. Okay, I start getting up to 10 people. No, because it starts to get too many. It actually decreases security in the network. The more over 5 you get, at 5 is optimal, providing the highest level of security that we can provide. Now, if one of them drops off for a little bit, it goes down a little bit. That's why I carry a couple extra. Because my security has no opportunity to drop below 100%. That's why I set it up the way. But people, numbers and that, because they're not listening. Even telling people how to go about building security. I hear it today too. I can't build a security circle. I can't build. Okay. Relax. Just relax. Just relax. And I know you're losing part of your bonus. I mean, you're not gaining the bonus from having a full circle or whatever. Just relax. If you can hook up with somebody through an official Pi site, get to know them, know who you're talking to, get to, you don't have to be buddy or whatever it is. I mean, usually the contacts I've made, we come close, we talk, I've talked to them regularly. We would talk. Because we're involved in Pi, we're active in Pi, we see each other in Pi and different social media. Okay. I don't have, okay. I know them, they know me, they know we trust each other. People we know and trust. You will be able to build a security circle. If not before. Once Pi is in Mainnet, if you need help, I'll help you build. Yeah. There are people that will help you build. You will get your security circle built with people that you can trust, you need to come to know, or get to know beforehand. You will get your security circle. Not that. I know, and that was also an issue that came up because there was a lot of cross-webbing to help people build security. Yeah, that got to be an issue as well. Because, yeah, now that, I can understand it to a point. I can understand it to a point, and I know the reason why it shouldn't be. But because of people, I mean, I thought I was doing the right thing, providing for people. Okay, I'm not going anywhere. I don't mind every day, and I don't know whose security circles I'm in. I mean, my friends and stuff, I know I'm in there, but anybody else, I don't know whose security circle I'm in because it doesn't show the security circles you're in. Whoever owns the security circle has to vouch for the members in his circle. Okay, so if somebody early on, because I give them a number out, and I didn't do it in Pi app, but I would hook up in other outside social media, or the official Pi sites. We would hook up and we'd talk. I give them my number, and I think the fear at that time was because of who the people were and the amount of people that there was. There was a lot of cross stitching, cross hatching of the security circle, and I'm sure there was a concern, or is a concern, that because of it, that a small group would have enough of the same people to, that could cause an issue. I can see that. I mean, I really didn't see it then because, and I don't think any of us really did, because that wasn't our intention. But I could see from court standpoint where that could be a point of concern. Because if you take a group of, I don't know, let's say five or 10 people, and those 5 or 10 people are ending up in hundreds, thousands of security circles, the same people, creates a weak spot, creates a point of possible problems. Okay? And depending on who the people are, I feel pretty confident of when that went on, that the people that I know, even though there might be some cross hatching or whatever it is, I don't believe any of them will do, because some of them are in my they're in my security circle. So I don't believe they're going to do anything that they shouldn't be doing. And whoever else these people have in their security, I don't know. But the ones I know, I'm confident. I'm not going to say, and I understand, but the group that was just one of many doing the same thing. So I can understand court's concern about security circles and possible penetration or possible weak spot, possible point of entry to hackers and bad actors and bad people. I understand that point, and I understand their concern, and they didn't come out and mention it in that way. But once I realized what was going on, I understood their point. Because I could see what was happening. I mean, I could see where the possibilities were. Okay, it was like if you take a chain link fence and you tie a rope to a small area, like to one of the diamonds, to a small area, and pull it together. You start to just watch what happens. Now I don't know whether it's, but that's how I relate to it as far as security circles of Pi, because all the security circles interact and create a giant web net, first line of security to our network. So that was an issue. That was one of the big ones, and it was an issue that came up all the time because people didn't read. People think they know what they're doing, and people think they know what Pi needs and doing what they think Pi needs. And people are telling them, no, that's not what Pi needs. Relax, back up, stop. So I say, right now, don't sweat your security circle. It will get built. It will get built. It may be after Mainnet, or if you listen to what's being said, pioneers that are Pi pioneers that have been here a long time, they're not going anywhere. New people that come in, you can hear when they get it, when they understand what Pi is, and they're behind Pi and they're promoting Pi, and you can hear them. And people like that, they're approachable. We are really approachable. Even though I may come across like hard and I may not be approachable, we are approachable. I, I am who I am. What you see is what you get. Okay? So, that was one of the next big ones. And all this time, it's always been, people have always been pushing Pi to the exchange. No, it's not Pi. Not Pi. That's why I believe Core plays things close to the vest. Outside of the space, crypto space, it's a backstabbing, cutthroat, whatever on these developers that are developing blockchains. And if you let anything slip of what you got going on that may be new to the space, might be new technology. If you happen to let that slip, somebody's going to steal it. Whether it's open source or not, they're going to steal it. If it's already open source, that's not stealing. It's open source. It's open for everybody to use. It's free for everybody to use. That's open source. Okay? Pi is not going to open source yet. Okay? So Pi forks off Stellar. Stellar's open source. So Core couldn't have stolen anything from Stellar because it's open source. It's usable. Core chose Stellar because it's, at the time, Core design, right, Pi, Stellar was the best option, blockchain, for Pi, to write Pi off. And what diehard Stellar don't understand, okay, Stellar, leave your shit in Stellar. Leave Pi alone. Leave Pi alone. Because you don't see the potential of Pi. You know, because it's off of Stellar. It's only going to do what Stellar going to do. No, it's not. I don't care the peripherals. I don't care how everything else is put together, written, or whatever. Yeah, I wanted to know some answers, because of how I wanted. Yeah, so there are questions. But however Core has written everything else, designed everything else, is Pi. Okay, and here's where, mining has always been an issue between diehard people. Okay. I can't tell you how many times I've argued with people. Okay, I don't care, because Satoshi named proof of work protocol mining. That's what it is. Well, it's hard to get, and it's costly, and it's all this and all that. It's a fucking computer program. That's all it is. It's digital. It's a digital thing. Well, you got to spend money, you got to burn money to earn money and all that. And yeah, why they do that is to keep the shit honest. To keep the nodes honest. It's the only reason it is. Well, yeah, but that's what it is. It's hard to get. All right. I'm wrong. You believe that. Okay. Now, if you're going to equate it that way, it's hard to get. I mean, it's hard to get. Costs a lot to do it. It costs okay. We'll go that direction. But if you lived in California or any other mining state, town, whatever, physically, there are many ways to mine. Oh, but it's crypto, and it can only mine because it's crypto. It can only mine that. It can only be defined as mining that way because it's crypto. Why? Who said? Who laid that out and said it that way? Okay? I'm from Ohio. They mine coal, they mine ore. I've been in California. They mine gold. They do. Kentucky does whatever. They all don't do it the same way. No. There are many, many ways of mining. They mine diamonds and gold and whatever in Africa. They mine different than people mine in other places. Okay? That's where I start losing the crypto people. Just because. You're closed-minded and you can't. If it ain't this way, if it ain't the way you've made it go, then it can't go. And that's a lot of the attitude that's in Pi. Yeah. from the people getting in the fucking way in Pi, being obstacles. Instead of asking, man, Pi, the talent that is in Pi, the pioneers, the talent that is here is sad. I mean, it's sad in the respect that it's being wasted on what they're thinking, on their goals, on their achievement, on their what, okay? On what they've done in prior projects. Then go back to those prior projects. Leave Pi alone. Get out of the way. It might be too late. I mean, we are where we are. But your way is not right. My way may not be right. Maybe we both need to shut up. It probably won't happen. It probably ain't gonna happen from either of us, okay? Because we're too stubborn, too whatever, and we believe what we believe, and we can back up what we know what we believe. The difference is, your knowledge came from an outside project. My knowledge came from inside Pi, talking to people that built Pi, people that know Pi, people that are building Pi. I know, okay? And I've seen this happen a couple of times. And I see it happening right now with people that are pushing in other directions. Early on. I mean, I was Brendan. I had no clue on Pi. And I was made an admin in the Telegram group. Not knowing shit. By a guy that knew finance, knew crypto, and I mean, this guy had a reach. This guy, yes. Yeah. This guy, yeah. He had a reach in a lot of countries. I mean, when I met him, he probably had 1,000-person interning team from 20 or 30 different countries and growing fast. Yeah, that's the reach this guy had. And he was a major banker. He worked for a major bank and whatever. But what happened not too long after I started waking up to see what was going on, yeah, he was also involved in one of the biggest scandals in that same bank. Okay? But he had talent, he had skills, he had knew. And when I met him, he was all Pi. He was Pi. Behind Pi. 100% from his perspective. And when, I don't know what, something went on, he was expecting Pi to go a different direction. Or Pi should be going a different. But Core has not changed their path. They've had to adjust to stuff that's going on. This dude, I watched him. I watched him for about a month. I was out of the group because I wasn't living up to his expectations. I wasn't able to deliver on some of the stuff that he wanted. Well, I'm glad I did. Really. I mean, I wanted to live up to it. I respected him and I admired him. Yeah. Because he knew his shit. He knew, yeah. But I'm glad I didn't. Because in the long run, when Core wouldn't do what he wanted it to do, when Core wouldn't talk to him, when Core wouldn't answer him, you got livid. You got livid. I watched the group. From what it was when I first got in there. It was all Pi. All Pi. Nothing. There was nothing else allowed in but Pi. When whatever he was, whatever his plan was, whatever he designed, when Core wouldn't give him the time of day. Core wouldn't answer to nothing. I watched him come in and chat. I watched him get livid. In chat. Because Core wasn't paying attention. Well, when that happened, the site that he had, social media page he had about 10,000 people in it. 10, 12. And watch the attitude in that location go from positive to toxic. I mean, it wasn't even negative. It was toxic. Then he created his own coin. It took him about 2 or 3 days. And got it launched, and got it moved, and came in chat and started boasting off. Core never paid attention. Core knew I know Core knows who he is. And I know Core knows his reputation and knows his bank account and knows. There's not a doubt in my mind that Core, especially that side, because the community was small. People stood out more than they do today, especially people like that. Core didn't give them time of day. That's when That's when things started to really come around. He got so pissed, he left. He left Pi and took 12,000, I think it was about 12,000 people with him. 12,000 pioneers with him. Core never flinched. Didn't matter. Didn't? Okay. That opened my eyes. That incident right there opened my eyes a lot. And it told me a lot about Core and the project. A lot. A lot. Because he wasn't Pi. Yes, he may have in the beginning had an idea of Pi, whatever. But as soon as people start trying to push Pi into the financial market, into a trading system, trading for fate, pushing it into the direction every other crypto has gone today, that's out today, is what all he was trying to do. Trying to get in it. Because I was the same way. I watched the market, the bears and the bulls and all that, what was going on, when the market was going on, whatever. And I thought Pi should have released at certain times because of the market. Okay? Oh, yeah. I haven't invested, but I played in the stock market. I know how the stock market works. Okay? I watched how, and I know. But now that I got involved in Pi, yes, I was watching the markets, watching the ups and downs and price fluctuations and all sorts of stuff. And when was the right time to get in? When would have been like the right time? Yes, I don't know. I'm just okay. And watching him, yeah, he had it timed on that. I think he was just getting ready to come back into a bull run. And Core didn't give him time today. Took 12,000 people. Core didn't flinch. Didn't even mention it. Okay? Well, that told me because we're still in development. We're not live. We're not ready to go live. We're not even ready to go to change. Not even ready to go to change. Not even worried about thinking going to change. And that proved it. Proved it right there. And it proved that all of us are expendable. It isn't that Core doesn't give a shit about us. Because if you get angry, upset at Core, and telling Core what to do and what direction to go, you're not for Pi. You have no clue about Pi. You have no clue about what Core has written in the design. None. Because if you did, you wouldn't be doing it. You wouldn't be doing what you're doing. Guaranteed. Because I've also watched it happen a couple of times. Okay. Well, when this guy split, took 12,000 people, and I forget what we were. We were under 500,000. I think we were under 500,000. Well, to me, 12,000 pioneers at the time, he took down his page. They all deleted their accounts and are gone. They're playing with his coin. I don't know what he's doing, how he's doing it. I don't even know where he's at anymore. Okay? I mean, he defriended me right away. Because I jumped him in his room. Yeah. Oh, we went around and around a couple times in his room. Because of what he was doing and what was going on. No. When he left, yeah, no, I got defriended and all this other, and Core didn't pay back. Core didn't. Okay. I mean, 12,000 people, how do you save them? What do you do? You let them go. Hold the door for them, let them go out the door, close behind them. It's better for Pi. Because this group is toxic. I mean toxic. It really didn't flow over into Pi. But going in their group, and you brought up Pi, I got run out of there a couple times. Yeah, I got run out of there a couple times. As soon as I said Pi, I got jumped on hard. That's how toxic this group is. They're better off gone. Core knew it. Core knew Pi was better off without him. It didn't face him. They didn't. The loss of this and that. No, there was no mention of it. And you will never hear it in anybody's history. Because many probably don't remember it. Yeah. Man, I was active in Pi every day. And I'm active in a lot of these unofficial Pi sites. And, yeah. Okay? And it's not blowing my own horn. It's just who I am. When I get involved, I'm involved, 100%. And I have my age and the job I had, and all, I had and I have the time to do it. And because of it, I have not wasted. Well, now I'm going to change that right now. The only time I've wasted in Pi is dealing with the bullshit of other people. That's the time I've wasted. Doing battle and debating with other people is the time I've wasted in Pi. Yeah. Because dealing with them took me away from helping people that really wanted to learn and know. That's all it is. Yeah. And usually what would happen is the people that really wanted to learn and know, because of their presence and how they presented information, how they came across, they were buying what they were putting out. I wouldn't let it happen. Won't let it happen. Because they're putting out all the information about Pi. And I've always stated, if Pi were any other project, I would be on board with these people. I would probably be saying the same stuff that they are. Trying to not convince, but teach people the space. That's all they're doing. They're trying to get people, and I'm sure their heart is good. Most of them. They're trying to do the right thing. But they haven't taken the time to learn Pi. They're doing the right thing off of what they know from what they've already done. That's where the line crosses. And if you're saying anything about the exchange, if you're saying anything about price, total supply, this, that, whatever, and it's got to have value from the exchange to give Pi value, you're off the mark. You know the space, but you don't know Pi, and you haven't taken the time to learn Pi. Okay? At this point in time, none of it matters. Oh, it does. No, it doesn't. None of it matters because we're not live. We're not trading to the public. We're not ready to trade to the public. We're not buying goods and services from each other. No, none of that matters. None of that matters. Okay? So, I'm getting to what does matter. Because we're in Pi history, what I know, hasn't quite got there yet. Close, but hasn't quite got there yet. I watched another guy. And maybe we did. No, we did because he was still positive. Okay. And I've talked about, right, that happened before we started with the NF transfer. Well, the NF transfer pilot was getting ready to start. Okay, where the issue and where I get stuck at the NF transfer is, at the time, everybody in the community got to choose 3 people and submit them to core. I think there was like, what did they say, 900 or 9, I think it was 9,000 or 900 people that were submitted. It had to be like 9,000. It had to be up to 9,000. Maybe 99,000. I don't know. The number was way up there. Way up there. And out of that list, 300 people, pioneers, were chosen by core. So the community got to submit the names, that people that we thought would be good fits for what was going on. Submitted names. Core, through that list, chose 300 people. And prior to that, and I've told this story too, prior to that, when the NF transfer was coming up, the community we didn't wait for core, rely on core, do anything, because we knew or started to understand what our job was. Core has built 3 things at one time. 2 of them should have been theirs. 2 of them were theirs. 1 of them should have been ours. I know. I know. This is how I put it together. This is how I see it. And you won't get me off of it. Not until we're live. You won't get me off of it. Because we fucked up. At the end of that transfer, we fucked up. I can't put it any plainer. We fucked up. So, we're submitted. All of this was going on while Core was making their... Everybody's getting excited, man. It's kind of excited is when this feature came about. But the difference between this feature coming out and transfer coming about, we knew about it in advance. We knew about it well in advance, like a month or two in advance. And like I say, I'm sure Core knew what was going on out here in the community, but they just let it happen. They didn't say anything, they didn't step in, they didn't say anything, they didn't whatever. Us as a community set a price. We didn't go to the exchange. All right, here we go, we're going to go, hey, exchange, give me a price on this so we can do our shit in here. No, it doesn't work that way. That don't work that way, man. Unless you're a core team, go try talk to me. Try talk business with your. They're not gonna talk to you. They ain't gonna talk to me. No, they'll talk to the owners or traders. Not they'll talk, yeah, because they got the money. They got and that those are who's doing business. Well, if you were here at the community time and know who's in community time, yeah, there are some big YouTubers that have in Pi, when they first joined Pi, were little YouTubers. They had following, little following, little whatever. But in the time that they've been in Pi, they know the space. They know the space. But in the since they've been in the time they've been in Pi, oh, yeah, they've climbed way up the ladder as far as YouTube influencers and content creators. And stuff. Yeah, no, they're up there. They're probably, and here's where I have issue with that part of these people. Okay? Because if you look at content creators and influencers and people with big followings and YouTube channels, stuff like that, yes, they're creating they're creating content for a niche, for their niche. They've built their niche. They're building their niche. But they're earning off their niche. They're doing the same thing these big companies are doing. Exactly the same. Not because I'm doing YouTube now. I'm starting to understand what these people are doing and why they're doing it. That's the big deal right there. Why they're doing it. Yeah. That's where I have the issue with some of the YouTubers that are out, because they're all getting paid from YouTube. And when you watch their videos, either at the beginning, end, or somewhere, they're running ad ribbons. The people that are in YouTube, in Pi, promoting Pi or whatever channel they're promoting, are doing exactly the same thing, Google, Yahoo, whatever, because you have to have a certain amount of following before you can monetize your page. Okay? So knowing what these guys are doing and ladies are doing, and they're doing it around Pi, I'm not saying all, but I'm saying all. And I don't have big enough following, and I don't give a fuck about YouTube. I'm just trying to put content out about Pi. I don't care whether you subscribe, join, hit the like button. It doesn't matter to me. It really doesn't matter to me. Now, once Pi goes live, yeah, my tune may change. But I'm not looking to build. A lot of it is, some of it I believe, the heart is in the right place and trying to get information. The rest of it is greed and trying to build a following off of a community. A community of 30 million people. Yeah, they're trying to grow their own channel. And it dawned on me the other day, because I'm not usually, and I have places that I go, and I've been following this one guy that he breaks down music, and it's the genre of that. Well, sitting and doing some live streaming and stuff with him. Yes, he's monetized. He's totally monetized. And when he made the comment about people that have donated through this live stream, that he would get their request on as soon as he could. If you weren't paying, you didn't get your request late. Okay? But I'm sitting there looking at him, looking at the phone, and I tried to contact this guy because I don't want to step on his gig. It's his channel, his following, his whatever, and I don't want to step on his gig. Oh, I had a vision, man. I had a vision. Yeah, could have added another 200,000 to Pi with no sweat. Guy wouldn't email me back. And I won't spam his channel. To me, that's not right. No. Respect the people that are out there. He's put in the work to get where he is. That I don't begrudge. For me to go in and spam his channel with my shit, no, I'm not stepping on his kids like that. It's not right. It's not right. So, but there are people that don't think that way. And when you're watching all these, and all these all YouTube channels are out there, are all unofficial. Nothing's coming from core. They're all unofficial. Look at the subscriber count. Look at the views, and watch for the ribbons. I bet you they're going to show up in 99% of them. They're not in it for Pi. They're not in it for Pi. They're using Pi to help build their channel. Yeah. Now, there are a couple that are in the space that provide crypto information financially that very rarely touch on Pi. Those are different people. They're building their channel off of a different issue, and Pi happens to fit their genre, and it comes up. There are quite a few of those. There are a few of those too. But the ones that are promoting Pi, yeah. Now they may have, most of them have other stuff going on, but they're hitting Pi hard. And if you knew their subscriber count before they joined Pi, and since they've been in Pi, well, I'm sure it's doubled, tripled, quadrupled from what it was when they first got here. And yeah, they're putting out Pi content, but it's all unofficial. So, but they're earning their money from their following. And I don't begrudge, because that's one way, that's another way to create income, create wealth. And a lot of people are doing it. Yeah, I'm learning more and more since then. But I don't, and this is where I kind of get a little off and whatever. If you were at least putting out the right content, correct content, pointing pioneers in the right direction, I probably wouldn't have the issue. But when you're sending them down the wrong path and earning money from it, that's bad. To me, that's bad. That's scandalous, man. That's scandalous. Okay, so that's going on. That's happening. So when the ladies and gentlemen that are here were here when we were setting price, we weren't setting value. We were setting price, selling price, buying price, exchange price with no exchange, and we set it. We had it set. And I told this story a couple times. There were a few people that took it upon themselves to line people up, and I forget who I got hooked up with, but I had whatever cash that I was going to invest. I had it ready. It was ready to go, and I forget who I was hooked up with. We were hooked up. In-app transfer starts. I'm going to buy his Pi. The community was split 50-50. We're talking people with money, Pi whale, okay? People with stacks of Pi, willing to sell it for 10 cents or whatever it was. Yeah, community was split 50-50. 50-50. I would say pretty close to 50-50. Whoever was selling was hooked up with whoever was buying, and there were no more people left. We were all hooked up. Yeah, and I had, like I said, I met up with Crypto Legend a couple days ago, and because of the Red Bull and the soda and whatever, I was fired up. And I got thinking about back, and I went, dude, you still happen to have that list that you and a couple other people created way back when? I know not many know Crypto Legend, but and I'm very fortunate that he's taken me into his trust and met me face to face, and it took about 8 months. Yeah, we get together. Anyway, he's got to look. He's got to look like, what do you mean? No, nobody's supposed to know about that kind of look type deal. Oh, dude, come on. I know you remember. I was there. Yeah, lined up, man. And he kind of give me like, yeah, this is locked up in a safe somewhere. Yeah. So, it's fact. It happened. And we were excited. And because of who they are, we are, okay, looked at all these. And all this got set up and went, oh, wait a minute. We're starting to talk money for Pi. And we're talking around the world. How do we secure it? Yeah, these guys were starting to line up escrow accounts to protect the transaction, to ensure that the transaction happened the way it's supposed. No, we were. And I, this is where I know the community dropped the ball. Okay, when I got here and the people that are doing what they're doing weren't crybabies, weren't whiners, weren't bitches. No, these people took the bull by the horns and made it happen. And made it. They didn't rely on core to give them a direction or tell them what to do or whatever. They manned up, laid it up, and did what we were supposed to be doing. They're doing it. They did it. They did what they could do with what they had. And all these other... I'll be nice, because there's a lot of people in the community that are in the same situation as people that want to get involved. Yeah. So I don't... I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about all the other whiners and crybabies and relying on core to get direction and value and price and they're supposed to be smart. These are supposed to be smart people, and they can't figure their way out of the wet fucking paper bag. The writing's on the wall. The writing's been on the wall. It's been here since I've been. The writing is there, and they're crying about what they can, what they should be doing, and where it should be going, and whatever. They're in a cardboard box that's soaking wet and don't know how to get out of it. Can't see how to get out of it. Don't want to see how to get out of it. That's the easiest way I can put it. Smart people. No common sense. No vision. I don't care whether you believe me or not, or whether you want bad mind. Screw you. Because you're the ones that have caused it. No, I can't say that. Yeah, that's a coin flip. That is truly a coin flip. Because the ones that did cause it were of the same mindset and under the same greed portion of it as the ones that are holding Pi, that held Pi back, holding Pi, getting in the way. They were of the same mindset, same breed, same. You could have put it, yeah. So all this happened. We were all lined up. We were ready to go to escrow accounts, whatever. Here and getting close. I mean, you talk about an excited community. It's awesome to see what we had. Being that excited, we were moving in the same direction, thinking in the same direction. Okay, there we go. The day of, I think I forget what day it even launched. It's like a Tuesday or Friday, I think it was. Launched in-app transfer. All that work that the community had done to be ready for in-app transfer never happened. Went out the window. Wasn't meant to happen. Isn't designed to happen. You talk about gears in the headlights. Yeah, because the whole community had sat and talked. We came to a community agreement. The whole community was in agreement. Now, it didn't matter which side of the fence you were on. We were all in the same agreement, moving in the same direction. Guaranteed. I have no reason to lie to you. I have no reason to blow smoke up your ass. I'm just telling you the way it was, and the way I saw it, and the way I was a part of it. I was a part of it. Okay? I experienced it. I was here. Yeah. The whole community was a deer in the headlights because it didn't go the way we thought, we planned. And the way we thought and planned is no different than anybody that's talking in exchanges today. It was the same conversation. It was the same coming to the same agreement on value, on price. Exactly the same. But with people that were go-getters, self-starters, self-motivators, businessmen, people that know how to make money and are making money. Not crybabies and whiners. You know, they took place like give me this, and we're not moving fast enough. Of course, like give me this, and we gotta go this way. You guys, okay? Y'all sound like a bunch of little bitches. Honestly, y'all sound like a bunch of little bitches, and can't man up or grab your balls and do whatever and make shit happen. Well, we can't use our Pi. We can't. Well, think of some other way to do something. That's all these people did. The people that were in the Unofficial transfer were assigned the responsibility to make something happen, make things happen. Okay? And this is where I say we dropped the ball and lost 2 years and put us in the position we are now. Because I think how Core is launching Mainnet and the feature that they've added, locking up Pi, yeah, it was a. I don't think it was a plan in the works in the early days, but when the in-app transfer went south, yeah, Pi Core had to read. I don't think. I don't know. This is where I'm kind of wishy-washy, because I still don't know whether Core has changed their goal. It doesn't appear to. I mean, the direction we're going, it doesn't appear to. In long type deal, in the short term, yeah. At one time, I used Core selling out because of the direction Pi has gone since the in-app transfer course. That's why I keep going back to the in-app transfer, because the in-app transfer is a big part of Pi's history to be where we're at today. Because we shouldn't be. Personally, we shouldn't be where we're at today. We shouldn't. If we would have done our job, this is why I say, if we don't do our job, history will repeat itself again. And if history repeats itself again in Pi, then history for Pi has repeated itself again, like Bitcoin. Pi gets a double strike. Repeated its own history, and then decided to repeat somebody else's history. And there's a reason why I believe that. Yeah. Because when the in-app transfer started, I know we're people, and people, you can't count on people. And people are going to do dumb stuff. And okay, well, if you take a community that is together, kind of thinking together, going in the right direction, kind of getting a hand. I mean, when the in-app transfer fell apart, I mean, when it didn't go the way we thought it would, that's when we woke up and really started to see Pi. I mean, I needed a little help, a little more help. I mean, I was there, but I needed, and certain people helped finish opening my eyes. And that's why I have the opinions I have as far as where we were, where we are. And this is where I get adamant about the screw up in the in-app transfer. And I'm sure Core took the hit hard too, and took it personal. I feel bad for them in that respect. I do. Because if the way we are right now isn't their original plan, isn't their original roadmap, their original, not community roadmap, their personal goals, their personal outline, their personal. And you don't take a project on this big, at this scale, that can do what this can do without a plan or direction or timetables to get to here or there. What? Yeah, I know that part of doing a project. And I'm sure that somewhere, and because it didn't come to fruition that way, and because it is what it is now, you will probably never find the paperwork after that. It's probably disappeared and gone. So I can't back it up. I would. I mean, I'm sure they may have it folded up somewhere. But from the original paperwork they had, the original roadmap they were going under, it's changed. It's different. It's different. It had to. They had to. Because they were scrambling. They were scrambling. Because If you take where pi should have been, yeah, I'm going to speculate. This is speculation because I'm speculating on what the internet transfer should have done. If you take where the internet transfer, where no, not the internet transfer, community, where the community should be, to where we are. There's two different. They had to change paths. They had to change course. They had to do something different because they couldn't go. They couldn't go the direction that they wanted to go. I almost guarantee it because we closed that avenue. And Core couldn't. They couldn't afford to take a chance. Even with people that they could probably, well, I don't know how trustable I was because they know who I'm associated with. And, okay. So maybe at that time, I didn't have the trust that I thought I may have. I thought I had a little more trust. I thought I had a little more clout, a little more pull that may have been able to get in. You know, somebody might open the door enough to let me in. Door wouldn't open. Door wouldn't open, it was slammed shut. Yeah. Once that door got slammed shut, the court didn't add anybody else to that pilot. Yeah. That's when I got done. I'm gonna tell you I was bummed that I couldn't get into that pilot. Because I knew whoever the pilots were, and I knew some of the pilots, but not all. The pilots that were doing things and making things happen needed some help. They needed some help. Now, I don't know what transpired. Okay, so I don't know the attitudes between. I mean, I know some of them. And I know there was a lot of bad blood created when it closed. When the in-app transfer was going the direction it was going, even before. I mean, when it closed, bad. And why it closed and why it stayed closed, I will probably never get any support on. Why it closed was a couple people tried to sell Pi for cash. Well, people are going to do what they're going to do, and it doesn't matter anymore because it's history and it's done all that. Yeah, it is. It's done all that, and it is history, and it's water under the bridge, over the dam, under the bridge, and it's old history, year and a half, 2 years old history. If we don't learn from it, we're gonna repeat it. That's where I'm at. Because people aren't. If you won't listen, you can't learn. And if you don't want to learn, we can't change what we already did. We will do it again because we're in the same situation. These are smart people that are. I know because I don't have the cloud of respect or whatever it is in the space. So who wants? I preach this a lot. They hear it a lot. People hear it a lot, and I get adamant. I get my tone changes. I get aggressive. I get vocal. I cuss because it pisses me off. Because I know, and this I do know, just from projects that I've been involved in. When people try to sell it, because Pi is still in development and not registered, it's not registered and not trading on any exchange. Remember, it's a private project. We can do certain things inside the private project that we can't do in the public, out in the public, because it's not ready for it. It's not set up. It's not ready to deal with the legal end, the ramifications, and all the stuff that goes when you go live. A crypto doesn't have to register with authorities until it goes live. I haven't heard anything about a Howey test, which needs to be run to find out whether it's an asset or a commodity, because they're not all assets or commodities. Ripple got tagged for being a security, I believe, because when they launched, the community, whatever, and their goal and whatever it was, when they launched, I don't think they ran a Howey test on them because they figured whatever their calculation, they went a certain way. And because they are in the position they are, and they've gotten as big as they've gotten, and whoever the founder, creator, whoever's in the head of XRP, yeah, that's why they came after him. Because he's positioned himself in a real good location. Yeah. Yeah. And I know people are gonna get pissed because no, he's going to here, and he's going to there, and he's flipping sides, and he's doing this. No, he's not. He's a businessman. He's putting himself in a position to expand his company, that company. And he's doing it the same way every other crypto has done. All he do. He's looking to be a central bank, man. They're looking to be a third party in transactions. Yeah. Okay. Stellar and XRP are doing the same thing. XRP went high finance. XRP went high finance. Rubbing elbows with the big boys. And positioning themselves to do. Whoever it is in XRP is advising for Bank of America in digital assets, digital currency. He's advising for Bank of America. He's put himself in a position with international banking. He got XRP. XRP is there. He's positioned himself real nice. And because he knows his product, he knows what his product's supposed to do, and he knows how his product fits in the space, fits in the global economy, fits in the global market. He knows. They have an awesome community. I've traveled through theirs. You talk about a community that's tight. I don't know how many people are. And I'm not taking anything, but that's one of my go-tos. Yeah, when I get back into the station, that's one of my go-tos. One of my go-to holds. Yeah, he's done a nice job. Even if he's swimming against the current, that's smart. He's smart for his product, his target market. Done a hell of a job. Yeah. I know there's a lot of animals between Ripple and Stellar, XRP and Stellar. Yeah, there's a lot of animals. And I'm not saying, Stellar's doing good. It's doing well on the exchanges and what its market. Stellar took a different path. Stellar took a path, the same path, the kind of Pi's take, but from different angles, different products. Let's put different products. Okay. Stellar is looking, and its niche is with the everyday man, everyday person, being able to trade currencies internationally. Yeah. Stellar and XRP do exactly the same thing. Different with different monies. Okay. Now, people are going to tell me, yeah, I just know enough and I'm running with it. Whatever. Maybe. I just learned enough of the projects to know what they do and what they are. And what set Pi apart from Stellar. And I can only go by what quarter trade between. And only what, yeah, I spent time in Stellar and I watched them. Okay. I didn't get into all the blockchains for it. I got into more of their white paper and whatever it was and read on. Okay. To find out what makes Pi different than Stellar. Since Pi is using Stellar, okay, what makes it different? I did the same thing with Bitcoin. What makes Pi different than Bitcoin? I don't think I did it with Ethereum because those were the only two that I really needed to compare to find out, because that's what would be anyway. So Stellar is the everyday man. Is a token. Okay. I don't know how many know what Stellar and XRP do or how they do it. Okay. Both of them. One's high, one's low. Okay. Doing the same thing. So let's take it on this side. If I have a relative, or I have a friend, or I have somebody, I have people in Nepal. I know people in Nepal. If I wanted to send money to Nepal, if I wanted to send US dollars to Nepal, to these people, would have to go through a bunch of hoops, and by the time they got it, they would probably lose a third to a quarter to a third of it by the time it got into their hands. Because sending currency internationally goes through a bunch of banks. I mean, it starts local, then it's got to go through a couple of overseas banks, and then it's got to go over here, and the country may not take dollars, so then it has to be exchanged to that currency, and there's probably loss to that currency, and fees that are accumulated all the way. So, most likely, they'll lose close to a third by the time the money gets in their hands. Okay? That's normal, everyday sending it. Just straight up sending it. Stellar's niche is to be able, how I understand it works, and I'm probably going to hear that I got it wrong, and it's like whatever. Stellar, the holders of Stellar, or how Stellar works. I want to send that same money to Nepal. I take and I turn the U.S. dollar. I think their protocol does it. I mean, I'm not that part of the inner working. I'm not totally, but I understand what it's doing. Okay, I send it through that network. It converts my dollars into stellar lumens. At the cheapest price, it turns them into stellar lumens. Okay? Then it sends stellar lumens over to where I was sending it in Nepal. So I didn't send U.S. currency. I sent lumens at the value of that currency. It got to Nepal, and because whether the country doesn't take, I mean, most countries, you have to use the currency of the country. Even if I've traveled to a lot of places, I have to go to a money exchange and exchange my dollars for local currency, because a lot of shops and stuff won't take the dollar. Yeah, the dollar is the reserve currency, but there are a lot of countries in the world, as a form of payment for goods, won't accept the dollar. They will only accept local currency. You can't, okay, you can go to the bank and exchange it, but unless you have a bank account in that country, you can't deal in the bank, because you have no account, and countries outside of the U.S., you think KYC is bad? An American going to a lot of countries around the world, we not even close. We won't even be able to open a bank account overseas, unless we live there, and we've lived there for a long time. Just a traveler? No, they won't let you open a bank account. No, they won't let you. Oh, I don't know. I'm not a world traveler, and I don't know. Okay. So, the only other option I have because my money is no good. I could have $1 million. I could have $1 million. And go to a country that shops don't accept it, and I can't get a bank account. I mean, if I had $1 million, I'd probably get a bank account. But, for an example, they won't let me open a bank account, and shops don't won't accept it. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Well, it won't happen. Bullshit, it happens every day. There are a lot of countries that won't accept the dollar as a form of payment for goods or services. Now, I don't know whether it's legality. I don't know why the issue is, but it is an issue. Okay? So, what Stellar does is it changed the dollar to lumens, went to where it is. Now it changed the lumens because the lumens hold the same amount of value that we started the transaction with. Exchanges the lumens for that same value in local currency. That's what Stellar does. That's what it's designed to do. That's what it's meant to do. And it does it well. It does it efficiently, and it does it fast. That I give both XRP and Stellar, and they're awesome. They are, for what they do. There's nothing else out there like it. There's nothing else out there, and they do it efficiently, securely, fast, I mean, I'm going through Central Bank, Western Union, whatever. I do what I got to do, and I send the current U.S. currency to Nepal. Who knows how long it's going to take to get there? Hour, 2, 3, 4, maybe the next day. It depends on how there's too many variables on when it's going to get there. I walk into the seller office, or get it, however, because I'm not part of the country, and I don't know how it exactly trades, so I know I'm going to hear about that. But however it trades, I set up and I make the trade. I mean, I do my end of the transaction. He got it already. He's got it wherever I send it, anywhere in the world. Within, all right, I give it, just to be on the safe side, 4, 8, 12. I give it 12 seconds. And they got it on that end. That's fast. That's fast. Anywhere in the world. No borders, no seamless. And he's got probably 90, I'm going to say 99 or 99.5% of what I sent. That's what those two did. That's why Core chose still. It's fast, safe, scalable. That shit quick, man. A lot of shit quick. That's why Core chose. Okay. Now, where I have problem with Stellar people is they're bad mouthing Pi so bad mouthing Core, and bad mouthing. Stellar's gotten where it's gotten on. It's gotten where it's gotten. How, and they probably won't tell me how much Stellar has grown in the last 6 months. How much bigger has Stellar gotten in the last 6 months? 1%, 2%, 50%, 100%. I venture to guess it's below 5%. It's not a big. That's not a lot of increase. It's not a lot of growth. It's not a lot of 5%. Yeah, it's probably nice. Okay. How much has Pi grown in the last month? How much has Pi grown in the last 6 months? Let's level them up. 6 months, 6 months. Who's grown bigger, faster? I would almost venture to guess it's going to be Pi. I don't think Scylla has 30 million people, does it? I don't know. I haven't run the numbers, so I'm just pulling off because now I'm going to make a comparison to Pi and Scylla. Okay? Are we comparable? Is there 30 million people in Scylla? I don't know. Is there? And has it gone, is growth rate matched in the same 6 months? Or has it gotten 30 million? I mean, I don't know. I'm pulling, and I will never get any answers from these guys. I know it. They haven't answered me on a lot of other shit. Okay? If we're going to compare, let's compare. Okay? Because Stellar's doing what it's doing. He's making transactions and it is moving. But how big is the community? How fast is the community growing? And, okay, why did they have to burn half their supply to raise price or value? Whatever you want to call it over there. Dude burned half his supply. Half the total supply of Stellar to get it moving. Why? Why? Because it's stalled somewhere. Somewhere it's stalled that couldn't accommodate what it has already been. Because Stellar had pre-net everything in that protocol. I'm sure there are some parameters that Pi has that go along with Stellar. But see, some of these other, and this is where I'm getting at today. Some of these other mechanisms aren't tied. I mean, Stellar diehards will tell you they're offshoots of some other deal on Pi. They're not off of the protocol. They're not off of the. Okay, well, okay. Here we go. So your biggest Pi's only using a portion. Pi, well, it can't because it's Stellar. It can't do all this other stuff that it's doing. It's on it. Technically, it is on. It can't happen. It won't do it. Laws of nature won't let it happen. Well, sorry you're so close-minded. So blind can't see. Can't get past what you think you know. I haven't written program in a long time. I understand how to write a program. I understand, yeah. I don't know JavaScript, and I don't know C++, and I don't know all of how the code all comes together. And I mean, the code that I was involved in writing, was on 2 5.5-inch floppy disks. That was the biggest program we could get at the time. And when we printed out the actual hard copy, yeah, it was only about, well, it was probably about that thick in those folding papers. Yeah, it was about a computer screen. I mean, when we compiled and printed the whole program, it was probably about that big. Okay, on one-sided, 5.5-inch floppy disks. Okay, so what I know and what I've written and what I've done wouldn't even blip what these guys are writing today. Wouldn't even blip what they're writing. I mean, what I did, what I learned, and how I learned, would get lost in what these guys write today. Would get lost. Okay, but it's not the size of the program. Not the size of the program. No. Yeah, well, you can't say yes because you have to go through more to find a mistake or find when it should have been a slash and somebody put in a percentage. I mean, I understand that. Okay? But, and I know how big programs are today and what they're, and I mean, I think 200, the 3.5 floppy disks I think were 316 or something. I mean, the amount of space needed back then, yeah. The amount of space needed today, yeah. Okay. So, but going through the motions, making something work from a push of a button. I don't care what language you use, I don't care what it is, I don't know, okay? Yes, are things faster, whatever, smaller, compacted, whatever, the bigger program and all. Okay. But the theory and the execution are the same. You're trying to make something happen. You're trying to create and make something do something. You're trying to make something move from one place to another. Something. And yes, it's all a computer program is 1 to 0. It's all mathematical computations. That's all it. Yes. Math was one of my strongest subjects in school. I got an AS degree in electrical science. Math, yeah. That's why I think the way I think and do what I do. Okay, so don't even go to the math part. Just getting an AS degree in electronics, all I can do is solder parts onto a board. But the amount of technical aspect and knowledge and math, yeah. Okay. Computer programs are just mathematical computation, 1s and 0s, lining them up in the right direction, making it to do what it's supposed to do. Yes, I know digital logic and I know analog logic. I know how to write them both in Fortran. Well, it's not even Fortran, it's Dowtran. Dow took Fortran, did what it did, and created its own computer language. Its own computer language. Dowtran, off of Fortran. Yeah. I think that was even before DOS. You know, DOS was running on one computer, and Fortran was running on our operational computer. Big cans were like doing all this stuff and was actually operating mechanical equipment, big mechanical equipment. Okay. Pi is no different, just on a bigger scale. Okay. You write a part of it, you do whatever it is, you roll it out just like this Mainnet. We test it, we use it, we start doing whatever, and they find glitches or it isn't working just like they do. They pull it out, they do what they do, they put it back up. It's happened all the way through the present. And I hear these tech guys, no, I can't because this is, It's not. I'm tired of being in the rooms. Yeah, because and say that you're too smart for your own good, man. You're too smart for your own good. Because I'm long on this one. Because if you can, where we're at today, technically at today, and as fast and as much as we can do technically today, and the scripts and computer languages that are out today, what we can accomplish today, you need to wake up, expand your mind, because, and I've said this before, if someone can think it, we are to the point, if someone can think it, someone can write it and make it happen. Take that to the bank. It's evolution. It's where we're talking AI, man. Artificial intelligence. If somebody can think it, somebody can write it and make it happen. It's a computer program. If you can think it, you can make it. You can do it. If you have the skills and you have the vision, Courting. You have the vision and you have the skills, Courting can write it and make it happen. Oh, no, they can't. No, they can't. No, they can't. That's why we're at where we're at. Because more people were saying, no, they can't. No, they can't. And trying to get into, and I think that's one of the biggest parts, trying to get into the inner circle. Another guy, same thing. Knows his shit. He can go either way. He's smart enough to do it on the up and up. He's smart enough and knows his shit and can do it on the down low. Yeah, he can go either way. Yeah, this guy's dangerous. He got upset with Core because Core wouldn't listen to him. And he's a whale, big whale. Legit big whale. Legit big whale. And with his knowledge and his whatever, and his Pi clout, he thought he had clout. Just like I thought I had, trying to just get into the transfer. I didn't even want any transfer. I just wanted any transfer to help do my part. Yeah, when I first became a mod, I tried for about 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Everything I could. Whatever, to get, because I wanted to help in that transfer. Because I don't have a lot of Pi, but I know I had enough Pi that I could help support what was going on. Anyway, it didn't happen. Yeah, did I bitch and moan and maybe get a little vocal for a bit? Yeah. But understanding why and understanding Core's position, I was just getting selfish again. I wanted what I wanted now. And I wasn't thinking about the program. I mean, the project. I was thinking about me getting in. Yeah, I wasn't, like I say, I may have thought I earned more trust than what I had. Anyway, get back to this guy. He found whatever he found. And he was at least in the, he was close enough that he could be heard by 2 Core. Core didn't pay him any mind. It pissed him off. And it didn't take him long to do what he did. And he had a site with about 7,000 people. He created his own coin and split and took 7,000 people with him. Okay. Core didn't flinch, didn't give him the time of day, didn't do whatever. And, there was a YouTube influencer that had 3,000 or 4,000 people that he brought in with him too. And I watched him in chat one night. Oh, yeah, I just sat and watched. I let him do his rant and his thing, and he got threatening. This guy got threatening in chat. Well, if you don't, you don't know who I am, and if you don't get back to me tomorrow, I'm taking all my people with me, and and he was getting threatening. I was just laughing. I was sitting here laughing watching this guy. And this was after these two had happened and some others. And when he came down, so well, you have until such and such time tomorrow. That's when I picked him. I said, dude, I can tell you right now, they're not going to answer They're not going to. No. Just from what I watched and what you put out and what you did with, they're not going to answer you. So if you want to take your people, you don't have to come back tomorrow. You can take your people with you. And I mean, I didn't have the right to say, but it's true. Watching what I watched, Core's not going to get back to him. He takes his people with him. Pi doesn't need it. They go. Well, I was in chat early that next day, and for some reason he showed up earlier than the time frame that he gave Core. And he started, all right, I'm here, and I haven't heard from you, and I need to hear from you right now because I can tell you whether this project is a scam or not, so I can report it to my people. And I went, dude, they're not going to answer you. I tell you right now, because of your attitude, the threatening that you do, they're not going to answer you. And they don't care about your people. I mean, they really don't care about your people because you brought them in and you're showing your attitude. They're most likely like you. Yeah, and with about 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, dude split. So he probably took a few thousand people with him because okay. So that leads up to where we are. Okay. When these people tried to sell Pi for cash, people are people, and they should have expected, and they should have. Okay. If I were dealing with a bunch of 12-year-olds, I might, and I might be in there holding their hand. None of the in-app transfer pilots were children; they were all adults. I don't know who all of them, but I'm gonna say all of them were over 20, probably closer to 25. I would say the average age was probably 25 or 30 of in-app transfer pilot. Okay, people are people. 20 and 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds. There's some in there that are up in age. So, they're just. But I don't believe there was anybody under 18 or 20. I gave 20. That Core chose for the in-app transfer pilot. So, I'm dealing with adults. I'm not dealing with children. I picked adults. Rational things that were offered by the community. Okay. Look, I'm sure Core had some criteria that they had before they made their decision. They're dealing with adults. People are people, but adults should be adults. And adults should be carrying themselves like adults. And adults should be thinking like adults and acting like adults. We're adults. So, it was only a few days. I think there was 2 of them, if I'm remembering, that thought they were going to get around the system. Thought they had a better way. Thought they knew what they could do. Turned Pi, because they have the availability and have feature to transfer Pi. Somebody sold them. It was either preloaded gift cards, or it was either like Visa, preloaded Visa or whatever it was, or some kind of off-the-shelf gift card. Gift cards are considered currency. Anything you can use to buy a good or a service is considered money. Well, it's a gift card. It's a gift card. It's whatever. It's like your credit card. It's like, no, it's not like a credit card. Credit cards are different. Credit cards are different. Gift cards are cash. They are loaded with cash. It's just a simpler form, or a simpler, easier way, because most people use credit cards, a simpler, easier way to do business today. Well, these guys, whoever it was, these couple of people, thought they were smarter than the system. Thought they were smarter than Core. Like a lot of these other people thinking they're smarter than Core. Yeah, I've calmed down a lot since then. Because going back to, we are not public, we are a private launched, private, invite only project. We're inside some different parameters. Pi is not registered. Not yet. Pi is not trading live on the open market. Pi is not public. So, there can be no cash transactions for Pi. Everybody in the community knew it. Signed contracts. And here, this is what really pissed me off. I mean, got me. No, it pissed my ass off. Well, people are people. They're going to do what they're going to do. Well, if people are people, and they're going to do what they're going to do, and they're of adult age and consent, and physically signed a contract before they had access to their Pi. That's not adult. That's scandalous. The problem with them, they committed a fraud, which goes back to court team. Because anything happens in Pi, it doesn't come down on us. We pack our shit up and we go to another project. Who's going to catch the repercussion of a fraud in crypto? Core team has never hidden who they are, where they are. We don't know who's associated, and who knows where he is, and who knows. Yeah, Core is never hidden from anybody. They are vulnerable and liable. We commit a fraud, it doesn't. Now, well, hold on a minute. We commit a fraud. It's Core's decision whether they want to press charges on us. But the initial is going to fall on them and the project. They can shut it down. They could have shut this project down. It wasn't, but they were scrambling. Core team was scrambling. Mods were scrambling. You could see it. You could feel you could feel it in the chat. They were scrambling. I don't know what happened to the people that did it. I'm sure whatever they had, their asset, whatever Pi they had, was frozen, and they got booted immediately. Guaranteed. Nobody's gonna. I know nobody's gonna back it up. Whatever it is. I was here. I watched it. I watched it take place. I was here the day they discovered it, and I was here for the next few days while they were trying to sort it out. Oh, there's panic in here, man. It was panic. Most people, probably pioneers at the time, didn't pick up on it. Because it is what it is. People are going to do what they're going to do. Oh, what? Because they got gift cards for some Pi and they broke with their contract? That's the attitude that's been in Pi since I've been here. Because people don't realize. People believe Pi's a game. We're earning points and we're going to turn it in for bubble gum or, I don't know, go down to Chuck E. Cheese or whatever and turn our points in and get some trinket knick-knack shit. Because they don't believe it, they don't understand. They can't get into Core and Core's not listening to what they're doing. Yeah. Why I get the way I get is because of the attitude. Because of Pi's the money. Pi has always looked to be and built to be the money. Well, if you're an investor and you're an adult and you're whatever, and you understand that we're still in development in a private project, invite only, and we're stuck within size of parameters. You wouldn't be doing what you're doing. Well, that kind of settled and faded and whatever it was. But we lost Core's trust. I guarantee it. I remember growing up, when I screwed up, I had to earn my folks' trust back. Well, when I screwed up, whatever trust I had in the bank at that point in time was gone. Zero. And I had to work to earn my parents' trust back. Oh, yeah. And I was like 14, 15 years old, 16 years old. Oh, I was hell on wheels, man. Yeah. Core PhDs, parents, adults, thinking on an adult level, reacting on an adult level. Okay? Wrote Pi for adults. And what do? We ended up coming in like a bunch of kids, man. Direction. This community right now reminds me of parents going away for a weekend or whatever, risky business without the cleanup at the end. Yeah. Bunch of coming in and destroying somebody's house when you've been invited to it because you don't believe But that's what it is. Because it's crypto. And crypto is designed to do whatever you want to do. No, that's why I get how I get. Because I view things different. And I've watched things happen different. Bunch of spoiled fucking kids, man. Come in and destroy the house before you even know whose house it is. Don't care whose house it is because you want to come in and you know what you want to do and you destroy the house. Well, that's why we are who we are. Because once the in-app transfer, once Core closed the in-app, yes, CSAN and Vince made an announcement that, they found this and they found that and okay. For a public display, yes. Because they're not going to come out and yeah, that's what you guys fucking did, and I don't know what we're going to do from here. Because they're not relying on us. They haven't relied. When we pushed it back on them, I'm surprised they're talking to us at all. Really. Giving us any information. Really. Well, now they have to, because they need us. Now they need us. Because if we don't come through on this end, Pi's done. Pi's done. And what have we lost? Time. That's all we've lost. We haven't invested any money. We've invested time. And investing the time was our choice. Was my choice. I don't have to be here. I've chosen to be here. I've chosen to do what I can to help Pi succeed. Being in Pi, being involved in active in Pi, was a decision that each one of us has made. And to bitch about it, to bitch about time being money, we're losing money, we're doing this, we ought to be on the exchange, we ought to do this, we ought to do... No. Nope. Well, the only thing we can do right now is help new people coming in, new pioneers coming in, to teach them what Pi is. In the time I've been here, and there's another one that gives me, okay, Pi app, right here, Pi app. It's the only, if you want official information, true official information, this is the only place to come and get it. It's the only place to come and get it. Nobody believes it. Nobody comes in and gets it. Nobody comes in and gets it. Because at this point, all this history that I've talked about, nobody knows. Nobody knows what's transpired to get us to this point. Because nobody talks about it. That's why I talk about it. Because it needs to be known. Because if we screw up again, okay, like you say, we just pack up. We lost pride and bad mouthing Pi and Core. At the time we lost and we didn't get this, we didn't get that. Because you don't understand where we're at anyway. But we just pack up and go to another project. Mm-hmm. I have no liabilities here. Even the amount of time I spend here. I have no liabilities. Nothing that I can be held accountable for being here. I have no cash involved in the project. I own nothing in the project. There's no ties to this project. There's no ties to really anybody in this project. Okay? I can walk away. This project fails, I walk away. And the difference between me and a lot of others that are going to walk away, that would end the war. I gain from here. I have not lost anything. Pi is only given to me. Pi is only given to me since I've been here. Yeah. I've given back. But all Pi has given to me, all being involved in Pi is only given. It's only given. It is not taking anything from me. It's only given. Yeah. Because you figure that out on your own. I know what I've gained. And I am if this were to go south and just I know I'm walking away farther ahead than I was when I got here. I'm walking away as a better man than I was when I got here. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Yeah. Okay. But I'm still here. I'm not going down without a fight. I'm not going down without a fight. And I'm not going down without, we're to a point now. Yeah, I know there for a while I got real bad because I didn't care about you anymore. If you were going to stay asleep, I didn't care about you anymore. I'm going to wake your ass up. Wrong attitude to have for being a pioneer and being a modern day. But what else you going to? I mean, I've exhausted every thought, avenue, resource to try to get people to see what Pi is. I know, and people don't believe me. They don't believe what I'm saying is true. What I'm saying is right. Okay? You know, and I know I'm talking in riddles and I'm talking in whatever it is, and I'm, okay? Okay. The in-app transfer pilot course. Vince and CFAN did a video. You can find the video. It's on Instagram, I mean. Just go back far enough, you'll find it. Talking about they found the glitches and they weren't going to let any more in. Okay. They couldn't afford to. They couldn't afford to take the chance. Because if they did it, adults, signed contract, should have been acting like adults, just doing what they were asked to do. No more, no less. The only thing that they were asked to do was to start Pi economy. Start using Pi, the Pi they were given, kind of like what's going on now with the lockup. The Pi we earned by ourselves in the purple wallet is what was given to the transfer pilots. Same thing that's going to happen right now. When we go Mainnet, we're going to get the Pi we earned by ourselves. They have it. And what I noticed in another, okay. The Pi we've earned has 4 places after it. 4 places right after it. See, the test Pi has 7. The in-app transfer pilots have 5 places past this. Okay. So I don't know how it makes a difference. 4, 5, or 7 places after the decimal point makes, because they're different blockchains. I mean, they're different blockchains. You got the faucet, you got testnet, and you got mainnet. They're different blockchains. Means has though the places to the right of the decimal point makes it different for that protocol. Makes it different. Yeah, you can. If you only have 5 places, a 5 place from this program isn't going to go into 7 places on this program. I don't think so. I don't, because it doesn't dive. It's going to throw something off in. It's going to throw something off in the algorithm to make it different, to show it's different. Then it's going to do something different. It's going to send up a red flag, something. They have to match. The programming I did, if I missed 2 digits to the right of the decimal point, I could blow. I mean, I was overspinning huge drives, electrical drives. I would overspin them if I missed by 2 numbers. Okay. Yeah. Don't. Yeah. Oh, you know, it's not gonna do. It's not gonna do. Okay. You think what you think. Well, I'm a programmer. I'm a developer. I'm doing. Okay. I've seen it happen on motors and drives. Where I think it was 1 point off of the right of the decimal point. Burned up the motor. Overspun. Oh man, it was like overspun it by one place to the right. But it should have been this, and it was it. No. Now it may not affect it in this realm. I know what it did back then. Okay. So anyway, those are missing. I mean, those are off. They're different. But back to the in-app transfer and how we got to the point we are now, and what I think our job should have been. Once the in-app transfer closed, I know this one's long. The in-app transfer closed. The people in the community, I'll shut this one down after this. The people in the community, all that is on their mind, or all that was on their mind, was to sell their Pi. That's why Core can't trust the community. And we still can't trust the community. And a lot of them. And it only takes one. All right, I'm going to shut this one down.